and welcome to yet another Dragonbane solo adventure, alone in Deepfall Breach. This time we tackle the fourth of 5 missions, the Soul Tree. Now, maybe, Sir Cornelius, can you just fill us in briefly on what has transpired in your adventuring career up to this point?
Well, I have done several adventures in Deepfall Breach. My first adventure was to rescue the captured orc Gorum, and during that adventure my companion was killed.
Oh, you remembered him. I'm surprised.
Yes. And then in the following adventure, I adventured into the cultist Warren and retrieved the medallion from the cultist leader after slaying him. And then on the third adventure, I ventured into the Mage's Refuge and retrieved the Calling Stones, which allow me to, leave one with Engulfir and take the other one with myself in case I have to teleport myself to safety.
That is correct. And back at the chapel, Engulfir greets you one morning.
The rains are unrelenting, and we are awash. Follow ye the floodwaters' path into the breach, to the very boundary of life and death. There grows the soul tree. We've need of its enchanted sap. But be warned, tortured spirits follow the same path into the underworld. I sense one familiar to you. Whether it seeks absolution or revenge, I cannot say.
And so we head from Deepfall Breach, or from the chapel near the town of Outskirts towards Deepfall Breach. And you consider what danger there may be as the rain is just pouring down, making life a misery, especially in your plate armor, which, if you recall, gives you a bane on certain rolls, as does your great helm. And we will remember to incorporate those this time. But the first area you light upon, as guided by Engulfir, is the streaming stairs.
Mind the perils of this spiraling stairway. Muddy runoff rushes down the slick stone in a torrent.
And you see before you a long, winding, spiraling stone staircase with a river of water just pouring down, carrying down silt and muck and slime. This is the way. How do you proceed?
Very carefully. I'm going to do my best to hold on to the railings as I descend the stairs into the breach.
Give me a bushcraft roll to see how much you might know about runoff and water and rivers and things like that.
I don't think very much. My bushcraft is not very good.
Now, you can push this roll. You'll suffer a condition, or you do have your heroic ability. Whether or not you think this is vital is up to you.
I think I'm just going to stick with my roll.
Okay. Well, let's just ask the fortune chart how big or how many stairs you need to descend. A moderate number, so it's not going to take you, it's not like a mile climb down, but it's not going to be easy because there is a bit of a distance you need to cover. How do you propose to make it down safely?
I think I'm just going to try and hold on to the railing and take my time.
Now, do you want to take a full stretch of time, which will, of course, advance the threat timer from 1 to 2, and when it hits 6, that ghostly apparition may light upon you, or are you making some semblance of haste?
I think I'm still doing my best to make haste, being as careful as I can with limited time.
Give me an agility roll with a bane, because you are trying to be hasty. Oh, and you managed to not succeed. Do you want to push this roll?
No, I think I'll just stick with it.
About halfway down, you lose your footing. You slip on slick stones and begin to slide down the stairs. The battering and bruising is mild at first, but it quickly begins to escalate. Give me a strength roll to see if you can hold on to something, anything that might prevent you from falling even further. Yes, you do. So you don't manage to go all the way down, but you are going to sustain some jostling as you basically tumble down these stairs. Now, in the solo rulebook, there is a table that covers suffering damage. If it's slight damage, moderate damage, or severe. And I'm going to say this is moderate damage, which is 2d6. And you are wearing armor, so there's a good chance this will completely unaffect you. 5 points of damage, and your armor negates 8.
Yes, 8 points.
So you are slightly bruised and slightly battered, but you manage to avoid any significant damage, and probably most importantly, you make it down quickly, and time may be of the essence. You don't want that threat to come into being. Is there anything else you do in this room now that you've made it down the stairs?
No, I think with the water pouring down here, it'd be too difficult to look for anything, so I'm just going to make a timely exit to the next chamber.
The next chamber awaits. The flooding chamber.
The water here waits for no one. Your only escape is through a trap door operated by hidden mechanisms. Be wary of what lies below.
So here you've got a room that is flooding. It's probably about chest high of water and getting deeper as more and more rain makes its way down those stairs into this chamber. Somewhere in here is a trap door and some sort of mechanism that needs to be manipulated by you, whether it's a lever or gears or something you need to turn or lift. You do not know, but there's going to be something you have to do in order to get it through the trap door. But first, maybe you have to find the trap door.
Yes, so I'm going to just quickly, if I scan the room, do I see anything that resembles a lever or the trap door, perhaps? Or
well, give me an awareness roll. Yep, and you correctly put a Bane on there. And, it would have been a dragon. Actually, no, that would have been your second roll. So it is a fail. You can push this, or you can take a condition, or you can use your heroic ability.
I will expend 3 willpower points and try and push this roll.
Do you want to change this into like a spot hidden and spend more time?
No, I'll just stick with what I've done.
Okay, so you don't take a condition because you did use the willpower points. So on first glance, you don't see anything at all that would allow you, any sort of mechanical advantage to open this trap door, which means it's probably underwater. Let's just ask really quickly: is the mechanism underwater? Yes, indeed. So now it gets a little tougher. You can obviously stick your torch underwater. You may have to feel and grope around, and you know this is going to take time. What do you propose to do?
Well, I can make a spot hidden roll if that's the only way forward.
Well, I think you're going to have to, so I'm going to advance the threat tracker by 1. Oh, you had like so many successes all lined up, and then it just didn't seem to happen. You don't find it. Do you want to push that roll?
Yes, I will take a condition this time, and I will become perhaps disheartened.
Okay. And we'll see how we do this time. The dice are not on your side this time. So as you are searching, I'm going to say that you do manage to find it, but something happens. So you managed to find the trap door, and it is inside that little tunnel on the picture, the little tunnel to the left. There's a trap door. And you find what looks to be a mechanism that will open it, but it's missing a piece. Maybe it's a set of gears, and one of the gears is missing. And as you are scrambling around, thrashing through the water, maybe poking it with your sword, you are unaware that something is in the water with you. Let me just bring these tokens into the game. And we're going to roll initiative. So you will get to go first and second, which is most fortunate. You know that there's something in the water with you, but you have not seen it yet. What do you propose?
Well, I suppose I wouldn't know it's there yet then.
Well, you know that there's something, but you don't know what it is. Maybe something swished past your legs.
Do I see perhaps a shape moving under the water?
Give me a quick awareness roll.
Oh, and that should have been with a Bane, but it doesn't matter. I failed anyhow, so...
So you don't see it. It's kind of dark in here. You do spot the gear. It looks like it's just a few steps away. It must have just fallen off and kind of rolled along the floor, and then this chamber flooded. So you could use maybe your action to move and go pick up that gear, and that would take your first action. Your second action, you can try and affix the gear back onto the machinery. It will require an intellect roll if you want to use your second action for that.
Sure.
So you do. You manage to figure out exactly where the gear goes. You put it into place, and all is well. It did not add the other thing on here, so let me take us out of initiative. Why did it not put that in there? There it did. Okay. It's going to be this guy's turn. I'm going to let you see what we're looking at here. It is a sludge serpent, a great bestial snake. This sludge serpent will lunge and attack at you. It is a monster. Monsters, of course, always hit. So you need to roll a d6, and we'll see what the monster does as you are getting this mechanism back in place. And you roll a 2. Devour. The beast swallows the opponent with the highest strength, which is you, inflicting 2d4 points of damage. You can keep attacking the sludge monster from within, or sludge serpent, where it has no armor, but for each round spent in the beast's belly, you suffer d6 damage on your turn, and armor has no effect. You get out once the monster is dead. So, you're going to take 2d4 points of damage, which fortunately for you will do nothing because your armor is going to block it. But you have been devoured, and you're going to have to fight your way out of this monster. So let me recycle the order here, and the monster goes first. Now you are just in its belly. It can't really do anything else. It's just trying to digest you. So you're just going to take d6 damage. And armor does not help here. Of course, you take 6 points of damage. But now you get 2 turns. So can you hack your way out?
I will do my best. I will try and stab up with my greatsword through the belly of this beast.
I'm going to actually give you, since it's not actively defending, I'm going to give you a boon on this roll. Oh, you had double dragons there for a second. That would have been nice. Well, the 12 is sufficient, so go ahead and roll damage. He has 1 point of armor, but on the inside there's no armor. So 12 points of damage. Excellent. And now you can make your second attack.
Again, I will keep trying to just hack my way through the stomach of this serpent.
And you can feel the serpent beginning to move as though it's traveling back into its den or swimming away from the area where it absolutely gobbled you up. So, you rolled a dragon. So this is fantastic for you. I wonder why it says 3.
It's because
okay.
I rolled 2 d20.
I got it. Okay, so but the result is a dragon. So you will check the box on your character sheet for swords, and at the end of the adventure, if you survive, you will get the opportunity to improve that. Now, rolling a dragon on a melee attack, you have 3 options, but only 2 of them will work, and really only 1 of them will work. The first one is that you can attack a foe adjacent to you. There's no other foes here. The one of them is that you can the attack ignores armor, but you already ignore armor. The last one is you roll double your weapon dice damage, which is 2d10. You would roll that twice, and then you would add your strength bonus. I think that's probably what you would do.
Yes, I think I'll stick with that one.
And you could kill him right here.
My rolls are really poor. So
yeah, not with those rolls.
Actually, quite terrible, but 16 damage will be my total for that attack.
So 16, I mean, it could have been better, could have been worse. And that was your second attack, correct?
Yes.
So you have done your attacks. We reshuffle the initiative order. And if you can go first... Let's reshuffle. There we go. You get to go first, so you may be able to hack your way out of here. If you don't survive through this round, you're going to take more damage. Or if you don't hack your way out, I should say. And you got another dragon. So you can't check the box twice, but you can roll double your weapon damage and then add your strength modifier, your strength bonus.
Hopefully damage. A little bit better this time.
Well, he's got 12 hit points. There's 13 already. So, I think we see where this is going. So, describe for me how you hack your way out.
Yes, I think if you're looking in at the chamber, you see my greatsword poke out of the top of his back as I carve my way through his innards, and I'll come out all covered in the digestive fluids, and his interior organs are now draping my armor, but I come out alive and a little bit damaged, but...
Maybe some of the corrosive effects of his stomach acids and biles and juices has scored your shiny plate armor. It's got little blackened, blistered bubbles in it here and there.
Yes, but I did survive, thankfully.
You did, and you managed to replace the gear. It's a little bit stiff and jammed. You're going to need to make a strength roll to kind of turn the handle that will turn the gears and open up that trapdoor. Oh, and you are unable to get it. Would you like to push this roll?
Yes, I'm going to become angry and push the roll.
And so now you've got 2 conditions, correct?
Yes.
So there you manage to get the door open and escape this flooding chamber. The water rushes out, nearly sucking you off of your feet down deeper into the breach. And you come across, in your short travels, a still, quiet lake.
This lake is still and quiet, lit by the soft glow of some strange bioluminescent light from the stone nearby and above.
This is quite a more peaceful scene than where you just came from. And remember, since you have taken some damage and some conditions, you are entitled to a round rest, which you do once per shift, which will allow you to heal willpower points. Or you can do a stretch rest, where you will heal hit power points or hit points as well as conditions. So when you need to use that, be sure to let us know. Give me a hunting and fishing roll.
All right.
I don't believe you've ever rolled this one before.
No, I have not. It's not the best, so we'll see how I do. Yes, not as well as I was hoping.
Not great. Well, maybe you haven't fished much in your young life, but you know that there's probably fish in this lake. I mean, it's a lake after all. There's got to be fish in here. In fact, as you peer down into the water, you can see tiny little minnows and fry swimming around, as though this is their entire world is this still lake. It's been rejuvenated by some of the rainwater, bringing in nutrients and possibly little crustaceans and creatures and insects that they can eat, and so the fish seem to be rather energetic and happy. Now, your path lies on the other side of this lake. There is maybe some difficult terrain to get through there. You've got some rocks to climb and some strange things glowing, or you could go across the water. And swimming, you have a swimming skill. If you're not wearing armor, you just roll it once per stretch to swim. If you're wearing armor, you have a bane on the roll, and it's once per round that you're in the chain or plate armor. So how would you care to proceed?
Well, if I look around, am I able to perhaps try and navigate along the rocks on the side of the lake and try and avoid plunging in?
You can give me maybe an agility roll to see how well you manage to do that. And so you succeed. You find a path that you think you're able to traverse that way. You make it up to some of those glowing lights, and here the light is cast across the water, and your gaze is drawn down, and you can see the glisten and twinkle of gold at the bottom of this lake. There is probably a small hoard of coins and perhaps other treasures secreted in the bottom of this lake.
How deep does it seem to be?
Well, you failed your hunting and fishing roll, so you're not exactly sure. But let's just roll on the scale here. We're going to roll it twice, and we're going to take the worst of the rolls here to see. It's either immense or moderate. So it looks immensely deep. So I'm going to say immense is like over 30 feet deep. Moderate would be like 20 feet. So it's at least 30 plus feet deep. It's doable, but it would be difficult.
I think as badly damaged as I am, I don't want to incur more damage trying to go after this gold. Seeing as I am a rather honorable knight, I don't think that would really be the purpose of my quest here. I think I'm more after what Engulfer has asked me to retrieve. So I think I will just carry on.
So you abandon the gold in that lake. As you reach the other side, you climb up and you see a cave entrance. And from this higher vantage, you peer down and you see, indeed, there is a small cache of gold. It almost looks like a chest has broken open or rotted open at the bottom of the lake. Someone probably hid it here, intending to come back and retrieve it, and never did. But you also see a massive black shadow looming under the ledge, and you know that had you gone into the water, you likely would have had to contend with whatever guards this lake. So perhaps that was for the best. I'm just going to show you what was in there, since you don't have to fight it. But it was a fanged pike. Now, the sludge serpent and this fanged pike, I actually reskinned monsters. I forget what they were. I think they were wargs or something, and I just changed them. There's not a ton of monsters in the core book, or even the bestiary, if I'm being honest. There's not a lot of monsters, but they're easily reskinned. I just changed some of the stats. I changed some of the attacks to fit more with what these things are. But it's easily done. So anyone, if you're thinking, gosh, there's not a lot of foes in here, there's plenty. You just need to put in just the minimum of work to reskin them, and no one will know that was once a warg, or what it may have been. Let's continue on.
A sheet of glistening silver. The cascade roars and tumbles near a broken stair, not star. The chill, damp air is like an icy breath on your skin.
So here is a cold room filled with a cascading waterfall. And the stairs that look like you would have had to ascend here to get to the next area have long since crumbled and broken due to the movement of this water. It has simply eroded the stairs away. But you can see up above where the stairs would continue. So somehow you need to scale this water. Now, you are not able to, of course, just swim your way up. That would just be silly. But you may have to climb or find another way.
Well, if I try and find a spot to climb, am I able to kind of find a spot where the waterfall hasn't touched as much, so perhaps it'll be less slippery?
How much time do you want to spend looking here?
I think I'm still going to not do as much to warrant a spot hidden roll, but I do want to just look around for a moment and see if I find a decent spot to try and scale this chasm wall.
Give me an awareness roll. You succeed. But in your success, you discover that there is no easy climb. That the walls are slick and cold, and there are very few handholds. And so you could climb it, but it's not going to be easy. Definitely, right here to the left-hand side, you can see how sheer it is to get up to the top, and the same on the right side. It's just very, very difficult to get up there.
During my awareness check, do I happen to spot another passageway, perhaps, that would take me up there, or this seem to be the only way to get up?
Give me a bushcraft roll. Oh, so close. Do you want to push that roll?
No, I don't think so.
You see no other means. No one has left a rope. No one has carved steps or handholds. It's going to be a bit challenging.
Well, I will do my best to climb this wall, seeing as this is the only way forward.
Give me I don't believe there's a climbing skill, so we're just going to make this strength. Give me a strength roll with a bane. That's actually a success, because the bane would be the 16, which is below your target number of 17. So you managed to scale the first half, and you're now suspended roughly 20 feet up this wall, and now you actually have to get over a slight overhang, so you're going to have to just suspend yourself by your hands as you pull yourself hand over hand up this little overhang. This is a very dangerous portion of the climb. I'm going to have you make a fear roll. This is a will roll. And as you're hanging up here, seeing what it is that you have to do, you are overcome with that fear. You can push that if you want.
I think I will try and steel my nerves and push that roll, expending 3 willpower points.
Okay. So close. But let us find out what happens. You are shaken. Now, is that one of the conditions?
I don't believe so.
Oh, you suffer the scared condition. Were you already scared?
No, I was not. That is not a condition either, is it?
It should be.
Oh, yes, will. I see.
Yes.
Right there. All right.
So now, what conditions do you have? You are scared, angry and disheartened.
Yes.
Okay. But now you need to make that climb. You will make one more strength roll with a bane. Do you have the... you don't have a strength condition, correct?
No,
okay, so just with one bane. And easily done. So you manage to, despite being shaken, disheartened, and angry, you pull yourself hand over hand up this slick rock. And as you reach the top, you manage to grab a small bit of moss and "Thank you, little root," you proclaim as it holds onto your weight as you pull yourself up the ledge and able to get away from this horrible scene.
Rivulets of floodwater course through this labyrinth. I see a minotaur of great strength and stubborn pride, lost and enraged, searching for something eluding him. Living skeletons dwell here too, wayward souls refused passage by the ferryman and doomed to wander the maze.
You will need to navigate this maze.
I think before going into the maze, I'm going to want to take a stretch rest.
Okay. So let's mark the time here. So you can go ahead and do that stretch rest. You'll spend about 15 minutes, and if you recall, tending your own wounds on a stretch rest, you can heal 2d6 as a solo adventurer rather than d6. So that, I'm sure, will come in handy. Well, you got 3. You also can recover d6 willpower points and heal any one condition. Two willpower. Boy, your dice rolls are just terrible today.
I know. I think I ought to stick to physical dice. I don't know if I trust these alchemy dice.
Right. They're out to get you.
Alright, and I will heal my scared condition.
Okay. So, the maze of lost souls awaits. Water-filled passages. You know somewhere in here a minotaur is lurking. And you've also been warned to avoid the living skeletons that dwell here.
Well, keeping this in mind, I'll head into the maze. Can I make a myths and legends roll to see if I can gather any insights?
Yeah, I'll let you go ahead and do that. So you can check the box for myths and legends because you indeed succeeded. And you, based on what you know of minotaurs and the bull of King Minos in Crete, you know that they are often at the center of the labyrinth, and perhaps if you stay to the sides, you may avoid it. Now, it may be unavoidable because perhaps the path will run through the center, but there's a good chance that you'll be able to elude that. But you also know, and Engulfer did say as well, that the Minotaur is searching for something eluding him. So maybe if you stumble across something, that may be your key to avoiding getting annihilated by this Minotaur. You know that these living skeletons will be unstoppable. You can't simply deceive them into not attacking you like the Minotaur. You're going to have to probably avoid them or overcome them.
Well, with this knowledge in mind, I will head into the maze and I will stick to the left side, only following along the left walls.
Let's see. Do the left walls, is it safe passage? No. So as you're traversing the left-hand side, up ahead through the only way that you can go, unless you back up, you hear the clacking of bony teeth and the scraping of bone on stone, as clearly some skeletons are approaching. I'm going to give you a stealth roll if you're trying to be stealthy, or you can go and confront them.
I will do my best to get past them without their knowledge, so I will do a stealth roll. Either way, I failed.
Yep, you rolled a double 16, so did not succeed. Do you want to push this roll?
No, I think I will face down these skeletons.
Let me just bring them up in here. And we will have us a battle. Your turn to go first. You can see there are two skeletal warriors up ahead with swords that come lumbering around one of the passageways, as well as a skeleton archer wielding a bow. And he comes from around a corner at a bit of a distance from you. Of course, with the labyrinth, he can't get a super long shot, so he has to be within, we'll say 10 meters, otherwise there's going to be twists and turns. So I believe you could rush him if you wanted. The other two may get in your path, but if you want to try and take out the archer first, he would be close enough you could do that. Naturally, an archer would want to stay back, but because of the twists and turns of the labyrinth, that's just not going to happen. So, your army of one goes first. What would you like to do?
Well, I think Sir Cornelius, his knowledge of battle tactics, will see the threat posed by that archer and rush forward and try and dispatch him before he's able to damage me.
So you can move up there, so you can make an attack. Do you want to push that roll?
Yes, I will spend 3 willpower points and push that roll.
Wow. So is that your third dragon on swords?
I believe so.
Okay, so he has 1 point of armor. So you can either bypass his armor, you can do double weapon damage, or you can attack him and attack one of the skeletons next to him.
I think I will attack a second skeleton.
Okay, so go ahead and make the damage roll for this archer.
My damage rolls are quite terrible.
Well, you rolled 8 damage. He had 8 hit points.
And 1 armor, if I'm
Oh, and
correct.
1 armor. Oh, yes, you are correct. Thank you for reminding me. So he actually will go down to 1 hit point. But then you can make another attack roll against one of the other skeletons without needing to, or not using an action. It's a free action. And you succeed.
Yeah, these damage dice are definitely not very good today.
9 points of damage. His armor is, I believe, he has 1 point of armor left. Let me just double check that. He has 2 points of armor, so he's down to 1 as well. So this has just not been your day.
It's these dice are just horrible.
We go to the the skeletal warrior, the one that you just struck, he will swing his sword at you. And he fails. It comes back to your turn. You've got 2 skeletal warriors on you. One is badly wounded, and the archer that is also badly wounded.
Well, knowing that they won't flee if one of their companions goes down, I think I'm going to try and hit the archer.
Success. The archer will not evade or attempt to parry.
And I shouldn't need to do a damage
roll.
roll
No, because
there.
he has 1 hit point. So let me just get him off the map here. So skeletal archer, he is out of play. We go back to skeleton warrior number 2. This one is undamaged, and he will attack you with his sword as well. And you do not have the ability to parry or dodge because you've used up all your actions. But he misses. So, fortunately for you, things are going well so far. We re-roll the initiative order. Skeleton number 1 will go. He will swing his sword. And it is a hit. You may parry or dodge, or just take the hit.
I think I will accept his hit.
You take the blow. And of course he doesn't have a sword action here. So I will just roll this. Oh, that should be a 2 d8s, but I'm going to say it's a d8 and a d6. 1 because I pushed the button and don't know how to take it away, but 2 because it's a pretty crappy weapon. So 6 points of damage. But of course your armor will block all of that. So then we go to your turn.
Well, I will try and dispatch the weak skeleton who has 1 hit point.
Okay. And he cannot block, so he's gone. And then we go back to your second turn.
And now I will try and dispatch the final skeleton before me. Oh, sorry, that was my damage. Let me do the attack first.
Well, we're going to keep that damage if you hit, because it's a really good damage roll. Oh, do you push the roll?
I don't think I will.
Okay. Then the damage does not come into play, but he will attack you. And gets a success. You cannot block, you cannot parry. This guy's sword is a little bit nicer. Five damage, which your armor is proof against. So we will re-roll the initiative, and he gets to attack again. And he swings this time. He senses an opening. Perhaps it's your confidence being willing to just take a blow, trusting in your armor, and he's going to sweep at your knee and try and just hack your knee out from under you. He's a very cunning skeleton. Oh, and it's a success. Do you wish to parry or dodge?
I will try and parry this attack.
So make a sword roll. I need to roll the damage, although I believe your sword will resist all of it. Do you want to push that parry?
I do not.
So you fail the parry and take 12 damage. Now your armor will reduce that by 8, so you take 4 points of damage. Your first turn is gone because you just parried, so now it's your second turn.
Well, I will attempt to hit him now, and hopefully these alchemy dice will agree with me. No, they do not.
Do you wish to push the roll?
I will. I think I am going to switch to physical dice next time.
I think you're getting angry in person, not just as a condition on your character. Or disheartened. It could be either one.
Well, these dice are terrible. Finally, we
A
can
success. He has armor value of 2. Can you do 10 points of damage? You do. And so, tell me how you obliterate this last remaining skeletal warrior.
I think with extreme prejudice for his cutting my knee and causing me great pain, I hack away until he's nothing but a pile of dust.
Excellent. You pause a few moments to to recuperate. Do you wish to do any sort of healing, like a round rest?
I will try and do a round rest.
So that will take a round, and you can heal. I believe it's 1d6 points of damage. I don't believe that increases in the solo play. Let me just double check. Yeah, that's just during a... sorry. Before you do the round rest, I forgot. That just does willpower points. So do you want to do a round rest to recover willpower points? Otherwise, you can do a stretch rest to recover hit points.
I will take the willpower points.
Okay, so 1.
1, yes.
But combined with your other 2, that gives you 1 more use of your skill.
Yep.
Okay, so you are... The left-hand path is not the path. Which way do you go?
I think I will now attempt to stick to the right side and see if that has does anything good for me.
Is the right side the way out? Extreme no. Not only is it not the way out, but there is a dead end, and as you come back and retrace your steps from that dead end, you hear the snorting of some great beast not far from you, as though the sounds of battle has drawn its attention. So now you know the path must go through the center. What do you do?
Well, hearing this beast nearby, I will do my best to sneak back to where I can attempt to go down the middle of this maze.
Give me a stealth roll, please. You would have the 16 because
yes.
you have a Bane, so you do not manage to sneak, and you end up doing your best to be stealthy. You end up coming face to face with the Minotaur. This Minotaur, he is a formidable foe. You know that he is very ferocious and maybe very challenging for you, but perhaps there is a weakness. Ingolfer mentioned something to you. As he approaches, he begins to draw out his great two-handed axe and snort and kind of scrape his hoof foot along the stone as though he is getting ready to charge. What do you do?
Can I recall what Ingolfer had told me about this Minotaur?
Give me an intellect roll. So you recall that Ingolfer mentioned that the Minotaur had stubborn pride. He was lost and enraged, searching for something eluding him.
Perhaps with this knowledge in mind, before the Minotaur charges me, I will tell him that I believe I've found the way out of this maze, and that if he would like to join with me, I will help him find his way out of this labyrinth.
I'm going to have you give me a persuasion roll. And do you have a Bane because of your condition?
I am disheartened.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's not letting me do the Bane, so I'm just going to roll a second d20.
That's okay.
Either way, it was a very bad roll.
So he looks at you and liar, and raises his axe to attack. Nice try. Nice try. Go ahead, and his attack is going to auto hit. You can dodge if you want, but it's going to be, you're going to roll and he has ferocity, but I'm going to say because he is searching for something, that this first round he's not going to do his ferocity. In fact, it didn't add a second one here on alchemy. I would have to make another token. So I would just say it goes after wherever your army of one is. His second attack would be after. So do you want to try to dodge?
I will try and dodge the Minotaur.
So make an evade roll. And I will roll a d6 for the Minotaur. So you succeed on his attack, which his attack was a 4. Cleaving chop. The beast swings its weapon over its head and brings it down with full force. It would inflict significant damage. Oh, it could actually be parried. Did you want to parry that?
I might wanted to have parried that because that does have a chance of destroying his weapon.
Yeah. So if you want, I'll let you roll a parry instead of the evade, or I'll let you keep the evade. So normally monsters cannot be parried, but this is a anytime there's like a general rule, it's superseded by a specific rule. This would be a specific case that it could be.
Well, knowing how bad the alchemy dice have been, I'm going to stick with my parry.
So his axe clangs down into the soggy, wet ground of the maze. A great spark and thud as it embeds itself. That was your first action. Now it's your second action.
I will attempt to skewer him in the back while he is trying to get his axe unstuck.
That is a success. He is going to... Would he parry? Let me...
Well, he cannot parry because you said he only gets one turn this round.
Oh, this first round. Yes, you're correct. Okay. You are correct. So go ahead and roll damage. And he has no armor.
It'd be 18 damage.
Nice. Well done. Oh, look at that. How much easier was that? Learn something new every day. So that was the end of the turn. So then we will reshuffle the initiative, and he will go after Army of One. So Army of One goes first, and then he gets 2 turns, and then you.
So having slashed his back, I'm sure that hurt him quite a bit. I will now prepare myself for another attack and try and skewer him, perhaps in the back of the knee to immobilize him.
Very well. He is going to use his action to parry, or use one of his actions to parry. He needs a 15. Oh, and he gets a 14. So he does manage to parry. Go ahead and roll your weapon damage. I need to see how much his two-handed axe has for durability.
Had this hit, it would have killed him. Is 18 damage.
So his two-handed axe, the durability is 9. So as he goes to parry, your great sword cleaves through his axe and slices it off at the haft, and he snorts in rage that his weapon has been destroyed. It is now his turn. Would you roll a 1d6 for me, please? And if this is a weapon attack, we'll do something else. 3. A horn rush. Perfect. The Minotaur lowers its head and rushes towards 2 enemies, but there's only one, hoping to impale them with its sharp horns. Both victims suffer 2d8 piercing damage and are knocked down. Now you can evade this if you want with your last action.
I think knowing that I'm not going to succeed there, as I do have a Bane on evade, I'm just going to take the hit.
So 2d8 points of damage, and you are knocked down. Let's have the horn rush.
If this does max damage, I am going to have to use my Calling Stone, but hopefully it does not.
13 damage, so you would take 5.
So I am down to 4 hit points.
It is now your turn.
I will now attempt to skewer the Minotaur. Now that he's rushed past me, I will attempt to once again stab him in the back.
And he cannot evade or parry. Oh,
Alright, I'm going to use the last 3 of my willpower points.
I think you have to.
To push this.
You succeed. Can you do 14 points of damage? You need a 6. Oh, so close. So close.
I'm very much not a fan of these alchemy dice.
Well, it all may come down to the initiative order. And it didn't take the click. There we go. You get to go first. He cannot parry. He doesn't have a weapon. Excuse me. Do you want to take a condition?
I think, yes, I will become scared and push that roll. There we go.
Would he try to evade? He's very badly wounded. I think he would evade. I think he has to. Excuse me. His evade's a little lower. It's 12. No, he does not. So, roll damage. Oh, now you roll like the damage that you needed. So this was quite the battle, but you managed to emerge victorious. Tell me how you take down the Minotaur of the Maze of Lost Souls.
Yes, I think he bull rushes me with his horns, and as he does, I just hold my sword out, and his head he just rams right into my sword, and it skewers him, and it goes right through his brain, and he starts to twitch and then fall dead onto the ground.
Excellent. With the maze undefended, you're able to make your way through.
Now, before I go through, I think I want to rest there.
Okay, so
And
a
take
stretch
a
rest?
stretch rest. And also, while I'm doing that, can I find any valuables on this Minotaur?
Yeah, so that would be a scavenge roll. Let me find the scavenge chart. Right there. You find... roll 1d6. You find a field ration. I'm going to say, just for the sake of fun, that you can consume that during your stretch rest and gain an additional... I'll either let you remove a condition or gain an additional 1d6 points of willpower.
I think I'll take the willpower.
Okay, so you do your stretch rest. That's going to be 2d6 points, hit points, 2d6 willpower. You said you were doing willpower condition.
Willpower.
Willpower, and then you may heal 1 condition.
It's not the best, but it'll at least keep me going for a time.
So you gain 6 hit points. It should be 2d6 willpower
Oh, yes. Thankfully.
because of the field ration. I honestly don't know what field rations do, but I like the sound of that. So 5.
So I can
would
use
have
it
been
one
even
more
better.
time. But if I... Can I do... or am I limited to 1 of those round rests?
1 per shift, so only 1 round rest, and I believe you've done it. So
Okay. I guess then I will have the ability to use my heroic ability 1 more time. And I still do heal 1 condition, correct?
yes.
Okay. Alright, well, after resting and finding some food in the Minotaur's pack, I will continue on and out of this maze.
Excellent. And your threat level, I believe, is 4 out of 6.
Floodwater gathers and forms a river, emptying into a mist-covered lake, within a boundless cavern. The ferryman, a being of many names, will guide ye onward for a price.
As you reach the shore of this lake, the wind howling through these underground passageways, from the fog ahead you see emerge a small boat, pushed by the riverman, guiding the boat along with a long pole. As he approaches, you see his cowled face hidden from view, but you catch the bony glint of his skeletal chin and lower mandible. When he reaches the shore, he pauses and looks at you intently, not speaking for several moments. Begins to become uncomfortable, and he finally says,
"Do you seek passage across?"
This I do.
"Answer me this. Man walks over, troll lives under. In times of war, he burns asunder. What do I speak of?"
Well, this riddle is by far easier than the standing stones, and I will tell him that the answer to his riddle is a bridge.
"Yes."
and he bids you enter his boat.
I will enter his boat.
You enter the boat, and he takes you across the lake at a slow, laborious pace. You think you could probably push the boat faster yourself, but you know that you dare not disturb the ferryman. What do you do during the journey? Anything in particular, or just wait until you get to the other side?
Can I ask the ferryman what awaits me on the other side?
Yes.
I will ask him that.
Make a roll, maybe a charisma roll, of which I believe you have a bane.
My condition was healed from that rest.
Excellent. So just make a charisma roll.
No, never mind. I healed scared to my will, so I am still disheartened.
Okay.
Either way, I would not have succeeded on that roll.
When you ask him what lies at the other side of the lake, you hear him chuckle. And his chuckle is just the rattle of leathery lungs inside a bony rib cage.
Death. Death awaits all who cross the wailing shore. We have arrived, he says. Thank you for journeying with me. Please leave a review on Yelp.
And he holds out his bony hand for a tip.
I'll give him a gold coin.
Oh. He takes it,
Gee, thanks.
puts it in a pocket, and begins to row himself back across the lake into the bank of fog. You have managed to traverse the wailing shore. The last location awaits.
Upon this lone isle stands mounds of bones and a lone luminous tree. Yes, I know I said lone twice in the same sentence. Gather blood-red sap from the heart of that tree. Then use the calling stone to return to the chapel. Beware the Raven Sisters, two undead harpies with moldering wings and corrupted hearts. They abide no living trespasser on their isle.
So ahead of you, you see the Acheron Isle, a bony graveyard with a massive tree growing from the center. And you hear the whooshing of wings as you see two harpies flitting along in the dank air. These must be the Raven Sisters.
Well, I think before approaching, I'm going to perhaps just stuff some cloth in my ears going forward.
Excellent.
As I wouldn't want to be ensnared by them.
Excellent.
And I will go forward and try and gather sap from the tree.
Are you being stealthy at all, or are you just walking right up there?
I think initially I will do my best to go unnoticed.
Okay, give me a stealth roll. Sneaking. The 4 would have been nice. The 19 is not so nice. At least it wasn't a demon. So, with the cloth in your ears, you maybe don't hear the clanking of your armor as you think you're sneaking up here. You get to within the gate that leads you into the boneyard. And as you approach, even through the stuffing in your ears, you hear a high-pitched screech, like an eagle's cry. And you look up and you can see sitting in the tree one of the Raven sisters, and she is scanning the boneyard, her undead, ghastly visage seeking you out. The other is flying around the area on leathery, tattered wings. And you know that if you were to approach the tree, there's a good chance they would have at you.
I think perhaps I would expect perhaps they just have good intentions as guardians of the tree, and I will call out to them and tell them that I am just here to gather a small amount of sap that we might reforge an ancient artifact to drive the cultists from the breach, and I am only here as a protector of the breach.
Give me a persuade roll. I'm going to say with a boon, because I like this idea. And so I think you have a bane, so it will just cancel out. So it'd be a straight persuasion roll. And you succeed. I was not expecting this. Let's see. Do they listen to what you have to say? Extreme no. So, but because of your good roll, they don't attack right away.
Begone from our isle. There is no place for the living here.
That's pretty good. They hiss at you with their high-pitched, undead, polyphonic voices.
This is your last warning.
I will just call out and say I have a quest to do, and I will not stop until it is done, and I will approach the tree.
Then you will surely be welcome here, because only the dead dwell here. Attack!
They probably don't say attack. They attack, is what I meant to say. Let me just drag them up here. Get you up here. Hope you're feeling lucky. Alright. Well, you get to go first and second. So, your actions, you can attack them, or you can just try and get the sap from that tree. It's going to take you... You're going to have to do like a double move to get to the tree, so that would take an entire turn. Of like you have 2 turns, one of which would take the entire turn to get to the tree. And then you're going to have to probably make like a bushcraft roll to try and figure out if you know how to get sap out of this tree easily.
Well, knowing that I am not good at that, I'm going to just prepare myself to battle these last foes.
And then take your time getting the sap.
Yes.
And if worse comes to worse, you do have the Calling Stone. So, if you want to go ahead and attack one of the Raven Sisters, the tricky thing here is they are flying. And so, you can only attack them if they come down to your level or if they're swooping. Normally they can only be engaged with ranged weapons or long melee weapons. Your great sword is not as long as a spear, but I'm going to say it's long enough that you're able to attack, but I'm going to say you have a bane on that attack, because they're going to try and stay away from you. So, if you want to go ahead and make that roll... They don't have a lot of hit points, but they're very dangerous. Oh, so that should have been a bane,
It doesn't let you roll Bane sometimes.
Yeah, well, so, and how many dragons have you rolled on swords this time?
I think 4 or so.
Wow. So, but the 9 is still a hit. And the first sister is going to use her action to try to evade. And she needs a 12 to evade this. And she succeeds. So she manages to avoid your slash. But that uses up her action for the turn. Now it's your turn, your second turn, your army of 1.
Well, now that she's down on the ground next to me...
Well, no, she was kind of swooping, and she just kind of swerved out of the way, so she would still be in the air.
Well, I will try and attack them again.
And again, you will have a Bane on this attack. But either way, that is a success. And you're attacking the same one?
The one that used its turn, yes.
Okay, then she cannot defend. If you can do 12 points of damage, you will take out Raven Sister number 1. Okay. Alright. Raven Sister number 1 is kaput. But that means Raven Sister number 2 has a chance to go. So, why is she... Raven Sister number 2 is going to do an attack, and you will need to roll a die, and you cannot dodge this, so roll a 6-sided die. One. Threatening cackle. They shower you with terrible descriptions of what they will do to them. We will rip you in pieces. We will take your nethers and stuff them into your innards and into your gullet and break all your toes. You must make a will roll to resist fear. This could have been a lot worse.
Do I get a Bane because I have cotton in my ears?
Yes. I'll say that oh, no, you get a boon.
Or a boon, yes.
I like that. And you succeed. Excellent. Well, now we're going to reshuffle the initiative order. And the sister goes first. So roll another 6-sided die. Three. Death from above. They throw rocks and other junk from afar. You suffered D6 bludgeoning damage. Well, your armor is going to protect you against that. Okay. You need to go back to fighting that snake. Your turn. You got 2 turns.
Yes, I think maybe I'll try and launch myself off the... kind of climb up the tree a tad and launch myself off at them and see if I can slash them.
You'll need to make... probably to climb up the tree...
Well, that's just flavor.
Okay. Well, because if you want to get up the tree to actually do that and not have a Bane, it's going to take your first turn.
No, I'm still going to attack them like normal, but just with a little flavor.
Yeah, so with the Bane, but I do encourage the flavor. That was quite nice. And with the Bane, that is a miss.
I will expend my last... that I can expend of my willpower points to use my heroic ability to push that roll.
And the 15 is a success. You needed a 15 or under. So roll damage. Can you do 8 points of damage, or was it 12 points of damage? Oh, there you go. Okay, well, so much for the undead harpies. You hack her out of the air, and her body falls to lie next to that of her sister, and now 2 more dead litter the grounds of Acheron Isle. It's going to take you some time to extract the sap from this tree. Give me a bushcraft roll just to see if you can speed up the process, if it will take you a stretch or not. Yeah, it's going to take you a full stretch of time, but you manage, perhaps digging with your sword, maybe finding a spear, a broken hafted spear on the ground. You bore a hole into the tree until blood-red sap begins to ooze out. What do you collect it in?
Perhaps if I have a canteen or some sort of water pouch, I'll...
You do. There's also a human skull on the ground. You could just fill up the cranium with blood-red sap.
I think I'll do that. That saves me having to get a new water.
Yeah, you
water
probably don't want to drink the water out of that afterwards. You manage to fill this up to the brim. It's basically seeping out of the nose and eyes at this point. Do you use the calling stone?
Before I do, I want to expend the next 15 minutes to just do a spot hidden roll to see if there's any treasures here. And then at the end of that, I will use the calling stone to get away.
Make a spot hidden roll. On the search table, let's roll a treasure card. A chalice worth, roll 2d6. Chalice is a cup, golden gilded vessel worth 30 gold coins. And as just as you find it and pick it up, you hear a rushing of wind, not unlike the howl of the dead. And from amongst the dead here rises up a creature, a ghost, a ghastly apparition. It looks not unlike the angry, dead spirit of Illyrim Stormbane or Stormhand, I forget what his name was. And he means you harm because you abandoned him in the breach. And as his ghostly hands reach out, do you use the calling stone?
I will, but not before. Doing my best to console him, telling him that he was my companion, that I buried his body in the chapel near the breach.
Did you?
He asks.
I did, I believe. At the end of that adventure, I did.
I was there. I didn't see it.
He says.
And before he can do anything, I will use the calling stone.
Well, give me a persuade roll, because I like where this is.
I believe I did do that, though, at the end of the first adventure.
I don't remember, but maybe you did. I think maybe you thought you did.
Because that's why I had gone into town to get my greatsword, was to avenge my fallen companion.
Yeah, but I think you just left his body there for the scavengers. He pauses and says, I'm going to go back to where I was buried and look. Or to where I fell and look. And if I'm buried, I'll stop haunting you. If I'm not, do not return to the breach under pain of death. He cackles, and then he reaches out a bony hand to touch you, and you summon, or you use the magic of the stone.
Yes.
You speak the activation word, which is?
I'm not sure. Perhaps some magic word that Sir Cornelius would know that Ingolfer taught to him.
And that word is? You can make it up.
I'm not sure. Perhaps the name of the mage is what activates this calling stone.
And that is?
Perhaps it was a Lyrum. Perhaps it was a long-lost cousin.
Oh, well, okay. So you use the word, roll a d6. You instantly return to the chapel near the breach, and you examine the stone in your hands. Okay, so you didn't roll a 1, so it works just fine. You return to Ingolfer. Ingolfer looks at you and,
you have returned from the breach. Tell me, did you bring what I sent you to find?
Holding out this skull full of the blood-red sap, I will hand it to him and nod my assurance that I completed my quest.
Excellent. Well, then go to the inn and rest from your weary wounds. I will have another quest for ye very soon.
and you head back to the inn for revelry, and you can make some advancement rolls. Now, I think you only rolled no demons, just dragons, and was it just on your swords?
It was on my myths and legends, and then my swords.
So you can roll those 2 for advancement, and again, you want to fail these rolls. If you do, they will increase by 1. So swords, no, does not advance. How about myths and legends? That one, yes, so that will increase to 11. And then you may choose 5 additional skills. Again, in the solo game, you just get 5 improvement points. In the normal game, you have to answer a questionnaire, and if you answer yes to the questions, for everyone you answer yes, you get an improvement point. So pick 5 skills and make your improvement rolls. Awareness, does it improve? It does. So awareness will go up to 11.
I will attempt to also improve my evade skill.
That does not improve. So you got 3 more.
I will try and improve my spot hidden.
That would be a good one. And that does not either. And last but not least, what skill?
Perhaps my persuasion.
I was going to say, you did use persuade
So
quite a
I
bit,
will-
so I think that would be a good one to roll. And that does not improve. 10 is a success. Ugh. But still, you did manage to improve several skills, your awareness, your myths and legends, and that was it.
And I did find a fancy chalice.
A chalice. So
in
make
the-
sure you can either just sell it in town, get the cash value. If you want, you can make a bartering roll and see if you can up that by an extra 5 gold. If you get a demon, you're going to get ripped off.
I will attempt a bartering roll.
Yeah, I'm afraid the price here is all we can give you is 25 gold, eh? So for 25 gold, I'll buy this chalice off you.
Very well, and I will accept that price.
Ha! Sucker. I mean, thank you, sir. Come back to our shop anytime, eh? And you can add 25 gold. Do you wish to purchase anything while you're here?
I do not think so.
Okay. Well, I think we're just going to rest from your labors, and we will call this an adventure. I will let you have the last word. After, of course, I remind people to please like, subscribe, and comment. I'll let you go ahead and close it out.
Yes, lots of fun in the Deepfall Breach today. The dice were definitely difficult, but overall it was a successful quest, and I look forward to next time.